I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good morning, Zach Hughes. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
I'm doing wonderful this morning.
Okay,
How are you?
I'm excellent. Thanks for asking. Thank you for asking. It's a great pleasure to connect with you, Zach. Please do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting.
I am a technology leader. I've worked in a number of different large corporations, and I started off as a kind of a technician, working on a help desk and working in other areas of IT, and I learned that I really wanted to be a leader of technical folks, and I have worked on that in my career, and that's my passion, and I've really enjoyed that, and I enjoy developing other leaders. So I write a leadership blog once a week and connect with my community across the Twin Cities and across the world of technology leaders looking to do the same thing and try to be inspiring the next generation of technology leaders.
Love it. I love on your blog site, right? The business value of wearing a costume to work, right? With the guy in the Star Trek
Yes.
outfit. Loved it. Loved it. So
Yes.
who did you learn the skill from? The skill of there's so many skills going on here. So let's talk about the leadership skill.
I'm very fortunate. I got people have had different experiences in large corporations. I would say, for the most part, a lot of people that work in large corporations, kind of experience it to be kind of a soul-sucking experience that is, that just breeds cynicism. I happen to kind of grow up in a corporate culture and have some really good leaders pour into me early in life, early in my career, I should say, and that's just made a tremendous difference in my early career. So simply by that inspired me to just simply pass it on. So I see, I've come into other organizations where there's maybe not as positive of a culture there, and to be able to breathe life into those individuals and inspire and encourage them, and see people start to work together in a different way is very satisfying. So I've really benefited from leaders that have poured into me, and I'm simply looking to pay that forward.
When are you going to start your podcast?
I start my podcast. Yeah, I look at myself as a little bit better writer than speaker. So that's what I've poured into so far. But we'll see what the future holds.
Hey, as soon as you're ready, please let me know. I'm really
Okay.
glad to help with what you are specifically definitely involved in, because there aren't many people that are speaking to those that actually love the corporate world, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so please do touch me on that. Well, I mean, that being said, and that being recorded there for history, so Zach could hear that. Why
Yes.
will you continue to repeat these skills, Zach?
I just believe in developing technology leaders. I see it's a matter of people can look at leadership, especially corporate leadership, as that's something for somebody else. Maybe that's somebody that has some pedigree or some particular upbringing or education. That's not for me. I can't do that. When I look at myself, I start off as a lowly technology geek fixing computers to leading large teams in a corporation. That's something that is just an opportunity, and technology is a wonderful industry to be in. There's so much investment going on there. It's there's always opportunity around. So it just feels like this kind of environment in which you can really grow and learn, and there's always a constant need for it. So it's something that's just become a passion to carry this forward.
That's wonderful. Wonderful to hear. Now, are we directing people to Zach Hughes? ZachOnLeadership.com?
Yep, ZachOnLeadership.com. That's my blog site.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful. Zach, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
What have I done consistently over the last 3 years? I committed to. Well, let's back up even further. I went for a long time of kind of not really developing myself as intentionally as I really should. And I went to graduate school, and that was an intense period of time where I did a lot of reading and writing. And I really grew through that period. And I promised myself that I would not stop once I finished grad school. So that was about 3 years ago. So that's why I would say, over the last 3 years, I've not stopped doing two things: reading and writing. That's how I continue to develop myself and push myself. And it's difficult to make time for that, but it's important. So it's one thing when you're in an educational setting and you have to do these things. It's another thing when you have to really make time for it and make it a priority. So I read a lot of books, and I write via my blog on a consistent basis. I write every week. I've done this for probably about a year and a half on the blog, but 3 years of continuously reading.
Wow, congratulations. Wow. How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm going to continue to get better, continue to improve. And that's encouraging, because I feel like, the best is yet to come. I'm very optimistic. How about that? It makes me feel optimistic.
What would you suggest to someone that's listening, someone that is definitely career oriented, someone that's doing the work, someone that's being consistent, do what you've done by continuing?
I would encourage people to certainly do what I'm doing, reading, writing, further their education. Formal education isn't for everyone. I enjoyed it a lot. I found programs that really inspired me and really developed me through that. But it's important to get excited about education and development in a way that works for you. It certainly can't be a check the box exercise, or I need a piece of paper on my wall. That's not what it does it. I would so stay curious, keep continue to learn. That is something that's really treated me well.
An amazing audience. We are live with Zach Hughes. Definitely check him out. He is the technology leader. You could check out his blog at ZachOnLeadership.com. Zach is ZACHZACH, right? On leadership.com. Zach, let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Zach, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory would have to be when my family went to the beach for the first time. So since it made me think of that, since you mentioned the Caribbean. I didn't go to the beach in the Caribbean, but I went in the East Coast, and I remember the first time playing in the surf and experiencing the waves of the ocean and boogie boarding and enjoying that. It's kind of a different wild adventure, something I'd never experienced before, and I loved it.
How old do you think you were?
I was probably 7 or 8.
All right. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
Because it probably spurred a desire in me to seek adventure and travel that stayed with me for the rest of my life. So I do love new experiences. I also love a little bit of thrill, a little bit of danger. So it's fun for me to look back at what maybe spurred that on initially, and I think maybe that first trip to the ocean was part of that.
All right, so can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yes, please.
So a few episodes ago, I had Eva Yu. She's from China, right? And she's actually a blogger with she contributes on technode.com, right? Which is similar to the blog model of what you're doing. And her earliest childhood memory, I think I'm mixing up the persons. Oh my, let me not do that. So, but there was a memory that was expressed to me where It's an HR specialist consultant, and she said, it's her brother being hit by waves when he practically, like, he was going for shells. He was going to dive for shells, and he almost drowned. It's just intriguing to me that the hugeness of the sea, if you would, in the corporate world and what it connects you to, and the two various scenarios that can occur when approached correctly, if you would, or approach it differently. So I'm connecting the dots of you being in the corporate world and it being a huge sea, if you would, but because you are prepared, it's fun, super fun, and I'm sure it's principles you can apply to other aspects of life.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Boy, I'm probably wouldn't make me proud to say this, but at the time, I think Milli Vanilli was popular, and of course they turned out to be frauds. So isn't that kind of funny how some of the first music you like, you look back on and maybe it's like, maybe that wasn't the best choice. But I think I was listening to probably Blame It on the Rain. I don't know.
It's cool. Yeah, Blame It on the Rain. Well, my friend, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Are you ready?
Yes.
Zach, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I have. My teams, my direct reports, I'm looking to pour into them to make them better each day.
Are you married?
I am married.
Do you have children?
I do have children.
Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Not even close.
All right. How about 3 hours a week?
Probably not even that.
Well, this is going to be an interesting question right here. What about screen time, the phone and the computer? More than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
My probably a little more than 8. My job is such that I'm definitely use a computer quite a bit. But I'll tell you, I do very much try to limit it when I'm home with my family as much as possible.
Yeah. So is it like 10 hours or more like 12?
10 or less.
Okay. It's pretty good. And I'm saying that's pretty good being and having an IT background. Like 10 hours is pretty good. Like, I'm just saying pretty good. Yeah. All right. Hey, Zach, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook thereafter, and we were having a conversation back and forth with this. But the name of the workbook is yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is you answer these questions, and as you answer them, hopefully it connects you to the next step, which is to understanding your mission, which I term your own unique real statement. If you had to share with us, Zach, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
I really love focusing on 3 things. I like technology, I like leadership, and I love the enterprise of scale. And through all that, to be able to kind of see innovation and creativity work itself out through people and teams is what I'm all about. That's my mission, and that's what I'm here to do, and to replicate that going forward. Make more leaders that kind of look at the world in that way and with optimism and generosity.
Love it. Hey, Zach, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, just I would just encourage all my listeners to be generous with your time. Pay it forward. For those that have invested in you, find someone else to invest in, and that's what makes this world go round.
Love it. Tech, leadership, enterprise of scale. Love it. Zach Hughes, this was a great pleasure. I'll say one more time, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.